So my name's Tom Natt, and I'm the Director of Engineering at Macmillan Cancer Support. We're rebuilding our software engineering capability. We're looking to expand it and thoroughly modernise our practice. I'm building up the leadership team and setting down the various strategies and direction that we need. Before joining Macmillan, I was in the civil service where I was the Deputy Director of Software Engineering at GDS. Basically, I was in charge of all the engineering output for that group.
Why did you decide on a career in technology?
So at school, I was pretty adamant that I didn't want to work with computers. Whatever it was that I wanted to do, it was definitely not going to be computers. However, I do know how to fix desktop machines. And so over a summer, I accidentally got a job on an IT help desk when I fixed a machine for a friend in front of the manager of that desk. She offered me a decent hourly rate for some shifts, and when I graduated university and attempted to leave, they offered me a full-time job writing code. I had no idea what I was doing, but under some strong mentoring, I learned fast. I sort of discovered I really liked programming, and at one point, I learned that I like solving management problems as well, so I find myself in my current role. So on the back of not really wanting to work with computers, I've had a career as a programmer. I've been in charge of software engineering for the Government Digital Service and the Cabinet Office, and now I'm the Director of Engineering at Macmillan. So good planning by me, hooray!
What are you doing on a day-to-day basis and what excites you about your current role?
Most of my job is about people. I'm in Macmillan because we're changing the way we think about technology, bringing those needs into focus and looking to improve ways of working and development practice. All of this starts with people. Do we have enough? Are they happy? Do they have the right experience? And if not, how do we create the space for them to get the experience and learn from each other? So I'm focusing on our people ecosystem, making sure that recruitment is thought through and is fair and transparent. Making sure job descriptions are clear and everyone knows what's expected of them and has a good idea of how to progress if they want to. Overall, we're building a collaborative, nurturing environment where everyone can be their best while being challenged to improve in a positive way. I really enjoyed being a developer, and I got into management to help create a better, more friendly tech industry. As I was gaining experience, it was very hard to find ways to learn other than reading books. Things have massively changed since then. But we can still do a lot better. I'm looking forward to when we can start hiring more junior colleagues, because that will mean that we have built a strong, supportive environment, and we'll have created an environment in which folk with less experience can actually flourish. Equally, I was hired from the outside, but I'd really like my eventual successor to be someone internal who's taken advantage of the opportunities that we've created and enabled them to learn and grow.
What has been your biggest challenge in your career to date?
The single biggest step was probably when I became head of software engineering at GDS. I'd been a lead developer and I'd returned from an extended Christmas vacation to find my boss had handed in his notice. We had a few months of basically denial before he actually left, and it was decided at the very last minute that I would be the one who was succeeding him. So suddenly I went from being part of a team building our operations capability to basically in charge of absolutely everyone technical. So at the time, there were some excellent people working in technology, but not much in the way of cross-organizational strategy. I had to pull that group together and get them formally working together while making sure that a whole bunch of people were properly supported and represented in senior management. It was a huge culture shock at the time. A sudden and massive change in thinking was very much sink or swim.
And what has been your biggest achievement to date?
For a particular story, I was in the Cabinet Office during COVID, and I was responsible for leading the technical part of the shielded service, which was literally putting food on the table of vulnerable people in the early days of the pandemic. We had long periods of no sleep or weekends or any other break as we designed and built data pipelines to make sure information could get to the right place. And there is a notorious screenshot of me and one of my people hacking together a script to patch something around 2 a.m. to make everything work for the next day. That was an incredible effort from the whole team, and there was a huge sense of pride and accomplishment when we saw the photos of the first food parcels being delivered.
What new technology are you most excited about at the moment?
So it's not a technology, but the thing I'm most excited about in the technology space is the rise of the head of community role. They are becoming more common. And as I said earlier, for me, one of the most important things for technology as a profession is maturing it and taking a step back from the individual hero mentality to take better care of all the people. That starts with how people get into the profession and works all the way through sort of different experience levels and helping people learn and progress. Head of community roles are designed to focus on exactly this part of the space and setting up career frameworks, bringing technologists together in an organization, building bridges, hiring a role to do this, which would be a dedicated role rather than parking it on the side of the desk of a or a series of managers, shows that an organization is taking all this actually very seriously. More organizations doing that is testimony to the fact that the industry is waking up to the fact that we need to take care of our people rather than our persons, which I think is a huge step forward for me.
What changes do you envision for your sector in the next 5 years?
So the big mainstream change that I'm seeing is the continuing rise of data. Organizations are learning that making data available and able to flow can create some huge opportunities, from automating back office process to sort of enabling analysis of what we've already got. For me, data is the new digital transformation. And I think we are hearing a lot about it, and we will continue to hear a lot about it. And for people to learning a new specialization, data engineering is a great area to be learning. There'll be a lot of these roles coming in the near future.
If you could give one piece of advice to future technology leaders, what would it be?
So for me, future technology leaders, we need to be growing more from technologists. There are a lot of technology leaders who go through the leadership roles, classic leadership roles, sort of product manager, project manager, those kind of roles. And while these people certainly are fine and have many skills, there aren't enough voices of strong hands-on technologists rising to higher levels. In order to get there as a technologist, so as a leader, I think you need to learn to write and learn to present. Those are really basic skills, but they're the sort of thing that you don't often get a chance, and it's very easy to avoid as a technologist. So take the opportunity to learn those, particularly while they're less important to your day-to-day. So maybe write a blog. Give presentations when you have the opportunity, even if you might find them frightening. So learn to tell stories. That's how you sort of join all these bits together and make them flow in a coherent way. And that really helps you get your ideas across. Being a technical leader is a big mental step from being an excellent technologist. If you want to lead, you really need to think about people all the time. Focus on getting experience as a line manager, learn how to support others, think about the impact of your work beyond the immediate technical sphere.